What is up? First the floor. I'm Jake Eisenberg, joined by Sam LaFrance of How About Them Celtics. Celtics lost to the Indiana Pacers 98-96 on a Siakam bank shot nonsense classic Indiana Pacers shot. They finally beat us. Sam, how's it going?
Good. I'm excited to be here. You could see I wore my finest clown outfit today to the show. Thrilled, thrilled to be here. I am happy to be here. I do love doing these shows. Genuinely do love them. I just wish we had a better result to talk about because, man, what a just kick in the dick this is. And I came to the realization at the end of recording with Jack tonight, which will be up tomorrow, that not only did they lose this game to the worst team in the NBA, but they did it while there's like an extra day break in between the next game, so we all have to sit and think about it for a little longer.
That's actually a good question for me to ask you. Where are you mentally with this team? Because Greeny was on, and he's fully back to like exactly what you just said, and that he won't be able to think about anything else for the next 2 days, basically, than the Celtics losing and dropping a game against one of these teams, which if you're someone who cares about, reaching 40-20, if you're someone that has readjusted their expectations to thinking this team could do something special, then you can't be dropping games like this. Where are you mentally? Are you living and dying with the Blazers loss that we experienced? And is this going to eat away at you for the next 2 days?
So the Blazers lost? No. Like at that time, like it was just like, oh, you're gonna lose once in a while. But now, like when you've lost 3 of 5, you start to get like a little annoyed. Like the Celtics offered me some crack a month ago, and they kept giving me crack, and then they stopped giving me crack, and now I'm going through withdrawals. Like I didn't think I was gonna feel this way about this team in August, but then they started having like really awesome stretches of basketball, and they started winning games in really awesome fashion. And when they stopped, I mean, granted, Jalen didn't play in this game, so like you have to take it with a little grain of salt, but like at the same time, like you've won the games where he hasn't played so far this year, which was even crazier. And the Pacers are bad, and they had won 2 straight, so like they'd figured something out, but they were on a 13-game losing streak before that. Like this is not a good team, and you lost to them, and you lost a really good opportunity to bounce back and like get right after a really, like, in my opinion, it was a bad week at TD Garden. Like all the teams they played were shorthanded. Like the Bulls are just ass, but they were without people anyways. Then Denver came to town without Jokic, and they like kind of controlled the whole game. Like that was a bad loss. Denver looked really impressive, and like that's credit to them. But like the Celtics looked kind of helpless at times, especially late. Then Toronto comes in with no Scotty or Brandon Ingram, and you beat them as you should. And then you lose to the Spurs with Wemby on a minutes restriction. Like, I don't know. I expected more after they went out west and just lit everybody up.
The Spurs one, I like Wemby's been on a minutes restriction for a while, and they've still been kind of beating everybody. Well, not everybody, but they've been still a really good team, even with him in and out of the lineup and on a minutes restriction. So like those types of losses don't really bother me. It's like this version of the team without Jason Tatum is like what is who we've seen for the most part, maybe like playing a little bit above their head as far as like the 4th best net rating in the league or the 3rd best net rating in the league. So losing a close game to a team like the Spurs, who has legit contender status, those losses don't hurt as much because those games are coin flips for really good teams anyway. Like no one's going to go, unless you're like the buzzsaw Celtics or the Thunder from the last season, you're not going to go 80%, 70%, even 60% against the top 4 to 6 teams in the league. That's not really how it works. You want to win some of them, obviously. It's the games like this. You don't want to lose the Pacers game, but I can't be too upset individually about this game because you got no Jalen. And I know this Pacers team is 8 and a million. They've got Nemhard. Like they've gotten guys back. Neesmith's back in the lineup.
Yeah, they're not the Wizards.
They're not the Wizards. And when they play the Celtics, especially, they're not the Wizards. Like we've played them twice, or we played them 3 times now. That first game where they go up big and we need the 20-point comeback, they just have the fucking aimbot magnet ball buff. When they play the Celtics tonight, 44% from three, 43% from three. Jay Huff hasn't made a shot all year, it feels like. He goes 4 for 7. And meanwhile, on the other end, you can't buy, like, I know that the Celtics in particular get labeled with the they live and die with the three. But if you look at the win-loss record of every team in the NBA on nights where teams shoot sub 30% versus teams that shoot 40% plus, it's just hard. And I think there was an element of they let go of the rope, or like they kind of let the Pacers take the fight to them for a bit, because you saw them really crank it when they came back into the game. And you're like, just a little
I was
bit.
cranking it too.
It's been a Massachusetts wide crank, I'm guessing, over the past 24 hours between Drake.
New
May.
England wide. Well, yeah, it's terrible. I didn't even see. I stepped right in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's going with me. The one Patriots hater in the New England area. Yes, Crankfest, and they just cranked it a little too late. I thought, because like they made that run. Pritchard was awesome. He really was like just going. He was just getting to the rim at will there. And late in the game, it felt like the step that he'd been getting all like late third quarter, fourth quarter, getting into the body of the big men. But then was it Siakam that got the block on him? Just one play short, essentially, from
that block
forcing
looked like a
overtime.
goaltend to me. I don't know
never
if
saw a
I was
replay,
just
right?
seeing things, but at the time I was like, that didn't hit the glass. Like maybe Jay Huff also tipped the ball because he went up on both of them, and I just chalked it up to that. I was like, I guess like both of them tipped it or whatever. That's why it moved twice.
Yeah, that was because that would have, what was the score at that point? That was 94-96. So that would have tied it with like 30 seconds to go. And you just and then you do end up tying it with the White floating bank shot, which was a great ATO. I thought that like the execution like in that late crunch was pretty good. Like you got that Pritchard, obviously he gets blocked. But the Derek White play out of the timeout, he got just a free layup basically in a tight moment like that. They spread the court, they put in Simons, they put in Gaza, and D White gets a clean look at the rim and finishes it. And honestly, D White ends up matched up with Siakam on the final in what ends up being the game winner. And man, like they force it all the way down. I'm watching again, 4-3. Even Cater comes over like high off the window. That's just a lucky shot.
Like I don't think he wanted to bank that. I felt that in real time. What I did not see in real time was Joe Mazzulla, Green Boomer, just right on cue. Did you see this? Every time they asked Mazzulla a question at the podium, he was just like a legal screen. And Siakam kind of like hip checks Derek and knocks him down in the action before he gets the ball back. And that is what Mazzulla was upset about, which I don't think it necessarily put the Celtics at a disadvantage immediately because they didn't act on it. Derek got back up. He guarded Pascal, but that shot doesn't happen if they blow the whistle. It's just I also just don't want this team to become the refs hate us and we hate the refs. Like I'm kind of over it. I thought they got hoed on Saturday. Don't get me wrong.
Same.
Like, it's hard to shoot 4 free throws in a game like that. But like at the beginning of the season, Jalen would go up there every game and be like, the refs. And then he started getting calls, and then they stopped giving him calls. So he just went out there and be
back
refs.
It's every game now. It's every loss. And like, unfortunately on NBA.com, it's not showing it starts after Siakam. Classic Adam Silver. Is he in on it? NBA.com tracking, not showing the illegal screen.
NBA.com is a mess. I don't even think I can pull up individual quarters right now. I was trying to do it. No, I can't. Right now, I can't.
You can
Maybe
now,
you have the
right?
premium. I can't.
Oh, I can. No, I can't. What the fuck?
Yeah,
that's
they hoed me. I was trying to write an article about the fourth quarter. It just was ridiculous. Like, guess what, Sam? You have to do math.
I had a brief experience with the US League Pass system because I had to turn on my VPN yesterday in order to watch the Bill Simmons show live on Netflix because I needed the immediate
You had to be
like
there.
reaction to the Patriots winning. And I'm searching Netflix, I can't find it anywhere. And apparently, like only video podcasts are on the US Netflix. So VPN on, still on today when I go to watch a Celtics game. I'm like, why can't I watch? Why I don't need, we don't have Peacock. Why is it telling me I need Peacock to watch the Celtics today? And I realized, so yeah, I gotta back to Australia. You get all the games all the time, no blackouts. I'm like, thank God I live in this country.
You guys really have the best NBA schedule, except for like the weekend matinee games where you have to get up at 5.
Well,
Like
that's
like most of it's just during the. I guess if you like don't do this for a job, it's not
well. This
good.
is yeah. This is the difference now. I'm not doing 80 games of.
Yeah.
That's been an adjustment. I've had pretty. It's eased off now, but like when the season started, and I wasn't able to watch every game live and then like podcast afterwards, I had legit like withdrawal and FOMO.
I bet.
But then you do realize there's so many games, and it's just like it's okay, and you'll be back. So sorry everybody that wishes we were still doing like 80 games, but we're still doing quite a lot, and there's just the schedule's so fucking long and way too many games. Once I stopped doing every one, I'm like, man, they don't need to play all these games. I think people are. I don't think they do. Anyway,
I sometimes like fall into that, and then I'm like, well, in August I would sure like to watch one. So like I try and watch them all, but like this
of
week they
course,
played at home 4 times, and I went up every time, and for me that's an hour there, hour back,
big.
and I was like, Saturday came, I was like, ooh, I'm tired.
Yeah, you don't want to complain about getting to go to work at the mecca of basketball.
No, I loved being there, but like the drive home was tiring.
Yeah. It would be a utopia of basketball if they averaged 2.5 games a week. So 2 games
probably.
or 3 games. Like a maximum of 4, but they typically would have played 2 or 3. Like the concept that these guys have to play 5 games in 7 days a couple of times a year is so insane. Like
I wonder.
Oh.
I'm thinking about this from like a us perspective, like where you're kind of trying to pay attention to everything, and like I don't really feel like I have a ton of time to just keep looking and being like, let's see everything and rewatch and take notes and everything.
Yeah.
Imagine being an NFL dude. You just merchant.
So easy.
One game a week is a merchant. Just I have all week,
dude. Because now the Patriots are good. I've been consuming much more content. And I'm like, it is so easy to stay on top of the NFL. It's basically just like
that's why everyone loves it.
Yeah,
it's low effort.
You can consume like 3 post-week shows and 3 preview shows, and you're done you've got everything covered easily.
It's not the game. I watched yesterday. I was like, why do people like this? This sucks.
I would never argue with someone who doesn't like American football because it is incredibly slow. Like the amount of actual football, you can watch a football game in 40 minutes on delay if you just watch the actual basketball. The actual football. Anyway, back to the basketball, Orange Ball, Boston Celtics. I've really enjoyed Cater lately. He ends up in -12 tonight. But since I started talking shit about his rebounding, he's kind of been a beast on the boards. And like for this team, that's what did they end up today? Yeah. They didn't lose. They doubled the Pacers up in offensive rebounds, 10-5 for the Pacers. So that's becoming a trend for me, is that when I bully someone, they become good. It's worked with Anthony Simons really well. Like I had a freak out for about 2 weeks about his rebounding. And generally, I know last time I think we spoke, we were wondering what he does here. I thought he was good again tonight. And then I was mean to Cater about rebounding. And he's on an insane like 3 or 4 game run of gobbling down rebounds. And tonight he even converted on the field goal attempts. 7 for 9, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block. Can't make free throws. I think that's becoming clear, is that if we get into a playoff situation, I would not put it past someone Hacker Catering. What is he at? Oh, he's still at 65%. Maybe not.
He's
Feels
not like
worse than that.
atrocious. It hurt today because they were in the fourth quarter, I think.
Yeah,
And one of them was after that big, huge dunk that
that was
felt like
sick.
it could move momentum, and then the guy came down and made a three and literally just outscored Mimi on
Yeah.
like that 2 possession stretch.
Nimi should have kicked it out.
Should have kicked it out. She never dunked the ball.
Yeah.
I do think about that. I had a thought about that during the game today when I think it was they put pressure. The Celtics were defending in transition and it ended up being a three. And I was like, I wonder if Joe just
Yeah.
thinks sometimes they should just let him get it. But the answer would be no. But like,
No, yeah.
ultimately, by playing good defense, you cost yourself a point.
Yeah, it's tough when you play good defense. Yeah, and yeah, you force them to kick it out and they hit this contested shit. Yeah. I did have someone in my mentions the other day when Jalen was on this crazy tear, and someone was like, every time Jalen takes a mid-range jump shot, we're leaving points on the court. And they were saying like the points per possession on a 3-point attempt are just higher than a Jalen Brown mid-range. I'm like,
Maybe.
I literally couldn't tell if it was bait or not because it was in the midst of Jalen not missing any mid-range jump shots. He has started to cool off a little bit, it feels like. And this is what's hard is that we talk about the crack. We were given like the purest Walter White Breaking Bad shit off the back of the Clippers game. And then and it's been kind of rough since then. Like what else? Was the Clippers game after the Blazers? It was, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And then they lost to the Nuggets, and then they lost to the Spurs, and then they lost to the Pacers. Like that, I think the Clippers game was the peak of the season, right?
Oh yeah, I was like dying laughing on my couch. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Jalen just tortured them, like broke their spirit. They were on a 6-game winning streak. He literally like ripped their heart out of their chest in the fourth quarter. He went nuclear.
Yeah.
I have like feelings about the 2 versus 3 argument where like I think if you make 33% of your threes and take 100 shots, make 33, like you have the same amount of points pretty much as if you made 52s. But like that's also 17 possessions where you're going empty and like that can hurt momentum. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Back to Nimi. Nimi was good in this game.
I was listening. I was pulling up the stats.
Oh, you could talk about 2s versus 3s all day, and like it's clear the way the Celtics play basketball now, and like they've played since Mazzulla took over. Like 3s are good, and like I'm not saying they're not good.
All right, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth.
Jalen mid ranges are also not bad.
Do you like is one of your guilty pleasures just like getting like in a dark corner in a press room with Gary Washburn and being like, these fucking guys take too many fucking threes?
No, man. I do love Gary. Gary asks like the best questions genuinely though.
Yeah, no,
I don't think
great,
he knows who I am, or if he does, he thinks I'm an annoying like dumbass, but
he can't let the threes go though.
Incredible. I don't know. I think him and Joe have a good relationship now. That's what I get in take.
Oh, yeah. No, but I'm like, just like from his show, I forget what game it was after, but I saw a clip from one of the pods and he was
just like told you
had to like catch himself. He's like, you know what? I think they take too many threes. And it's not why I lost this game, but they took too many threes. And I'm like, this is awesome.
He's the man.
Like 3 years of Mazzulla. At this point, if you can't accept that what Mazzulla is doing is incredible coaching, especially this year. Like if I personally thought you could see it the last 2 seasons, but it's like, okay, some people wanted to see him do it with not a stacked roster. And now he's exceeded expectations more than almost anybody else. So, like, if you aren't a Joe guy at this point, what are you doing?
He's cooking this year.
Yeah.
And to answer Derek, I'm there every game. I ask, not regularly, because I usually don't want to like ask something that's dumb. But it's like getting my feet wet. But I asked a few things this week. I was there.
What did you ask?
I asked Joe about the bench on Monday. I asked Anthony about his fit with the bench on Monday.
Oh, speaking of, Clean Music Lover 229 in the chat should have started Simons. I'll say this about Anthony Simons. I continually am finding myself thinking, I think we should get Anthony Simons out there. When the game was kind of slipping and Pritchard was missing a ton of looks, I was like, it feels like Simons should be out there because Simons was really good, I thought, in his first stint and then he came back in and like dribbled the ball off his foot immediately as like his first possession back in. But I continue to think Simons is playing well. And to anybody listening, like this Pacers game, this feels like a good. This is why it's worked out. While the Celtics losing is bad, having Sam on for this game is good because this feels like a good nonsense spot and like diving
Yes.
into the game where you don't have a Jalen, you lose. It's against the Pacers. Gonna try and pretend like this didn't really happen. Simons, are you coming around?
Simons? Yeah, I've really started to like him. Like anytime I'm on the show with Jack or whoever, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to trade this guy anymore. Like, especially not just to cut money because it's not my
Mm,
money. They're below the second apron, so it's actually no
yeah,
longer affecting
yeah.
me. I don't care. Uh, he really seems to have found his rhythm with this team, and at the same time, the coaching staff knows how to use him now. Like at the beginning of the season, when we were on here, like what does he do? The one thing I was always coming back to is he catches and shoots really well. He
Mhm.
every time he gets a catch and shoot, I'm like, that's going in. And then they've started to run things where it's his opportunity to just catch and shoot, or he's getting the ball in like a downhill situation where he can make an easier read and doesn't really have to create for himself. When he's being asked to like beat guys off the dribble, it doesn't feel like he's as successful. And the coaching staff knows that now. And it's really starting to help him fit into this team. Not to mention, Luca Garza, and Ugo as a unit have been unbelievable since Garza was revived. They brought him out of the crypt to play basketball again. Their like net rating is in the 30s, I think,
Yeah,
and they're like one of the most used lineups. Like it's not like they don't play together ever. Like they're out there quite a bit. So the bench as a unit really knows what they're doing. And I think when you have maniacs like Luca and Ugo out there, it rubs off on somebody like Anthony. Like you were mentioning his
yeah.
rebounding and the way he's started to kind of get on that a little bit more. I think those guys help motivate him and give him that little extra oomph to do it. So I don't know if I would have liked to see him start in this game. Would have liked to see him get a little bit more of a shout in the fourth quarter where they only had 19 points. Like looking at that stat is more frustrating to me because it's like, man, you only scored 19 points. You actually held the Pacers to 19 and you lost by 2. Like if you just get like a 25-point quarter, we're all like pumping
Yeah.
our fists. Celtics are back, this, that. They didn't have Jalen and they won. Like now it's a bummer.
Well, that's why I can't get too mad. It's like 2 point game and you get fucking crushed in a 3 point percentage. Like that's you're just gonna lose some of these games, especially like when you don't have Jalen. These teams are much more evenly matched. Like I love Derek, love Jalen, love like oh, I almost used the love word on Simons. Not quite there yet. Uh, but
He's just looking at you now. He doesn't know what to do with himself. He's like, he was like, I was going to say it back. He's just like,
sorry, Anthony.
he's really hurt.
I'm not
Keep an eye
ready.
on his performance next game. We'll see how this has affected him.
I got to keep him hungry.
Yeah.
So the green boomer in the chat, I watch every game, but I'm retired insane. I do want to make it clear, I'm still watching every game. That I don't think I can help at this point in my life. But yes, Simon, I wanted just to go check because it feels like to me when he gets downhill, he doesn't get easy looks at the rim, but he finishes these like tough off the window attempts, but he's shooting 63% at the rim still. 22 from 35, 34th percentile, which is horrendous, obviously. But 82nd percentile from short mid range. And I do feel like that is I'm just maybe I'll dive into like the more recent stuff, like the last kind of 10, 15 games. But to me, it feels like he's really getting to his spots easier and he's looking more confident on his drives. And he's just like he feels empowered to take some of these more difficult shots because the team's now trusting him. We know he can make these shots. Go get it. Because everywhere on the 3 point line, he's been like absurd. Like the dude is clearly a flamethrower. And I'm with you. Like trading him for pure salary cutting purposes would be really disappointing at this point. Like the way the conference has shaken out.
Shook out. You could say shook out, but I think it's
shook. Definitely not shuck. Dealing with a lot of oysters on the tour guiding side of things down here in Tasmania, which you shuck oysters. Maybe that's.
Oh, we got him. We know.
Yeah. Just for those who aren't familiar with how you open the oysters, you got to shuck them. Anyway, I do like what Simons has been doing. I would be really disappointed to get rid of him for no reason. If it leads to like Avita Zubats, then sure, that's something that I'm in on. I don't know. You've been at these games. Bill Chisholm does not look like a guy who's about to make the team worse
No, he
for
doesn't.
tax reasons. You're still on mute.
He's out there having, as I slap my microphone once I unmute it. That's what I do. That's my first action. They should just take me and trade me to save money. No, Chisholm is like a big kid, and he always has his whole family there, which is super. I don't know. I think it's impressive. I do worry if he's going to make the kids hate the team eventually. Like they're like, we got to go again. Like, I want to watch the Patriots or whatever else is on. He's just like, no, we're all going. You're going to embarrass me. No, he's super invested. Like, he always cares. I know Nick NBA tweeted the clip of him checking his pockets for threes.
Yeah,
Derek
dude,
made a three this week. Like,
he's us.
Yeah, I think they got a good one there. I mean, we have to see what happens with the Celtics, and if he lets Brad do Brad's job and doesn't really mess around with them, kind of trying to save money and stuff. Which, unfortunately, I don't think it's just him, right? Like, he's part of a group, and he's gonna have to put up with other people and all that stuff. But like, Wick is still at these games, so like, he hasn't ousted Wick. Like, there was a moment where we thought Wick was ousted. Remember when Shams was like, "Hey, everybody." Chisholm, evil, and we're all like, "Whoa, he's evil!" And then we all found Himmelsbach came out. I was like, actually, they just like could not change the title legally or whatever.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't see him as a big cost cutting guy, at least right now. Like, he had to get underneath the second apron, but that was happening regardless. Like, that wasn't I'm an owner and I want to save my money thing. It was
dude,
I want to be able to help the team.
They won the Drew trade. Like, Simons has been better than Drew, and part of that is Drew has just been unhealthy, but that was kind of part of the calculus with the Drew situation. Like, Drew's played 13 games and been fantastic in those games. I think he just recently came back, if I'm not mistaken.
Came back like literally yesterday.
Yeah, he played against the Knicks. They lost the Knicks.
Oh, they lost the Knicks.
He played 16 minutes. He was 2 for 7.
As much as things change, they say the same. Fuck.
Yeah. He was 2 for 4 from 3 though. 0 for 3 from 3-point range. Tough. But like, they've objectively won the Drew trade. I don't even know who they got for Porzingis, really. Oh, George Niang, of course.
Should have been Niang.
Dude, if Niang was on this team, we'd be the one seed.
Him.
Look at what
happened. He hasn't. I don't even know if he's played yet. Actually, he's got like a foot fracture.
No, I think he's back and been like good. Am I
really?
Yeah, he has played. He's played 20. No, he hasn't played. That's right.
Okay.
I was like, he's played 28 games. Surely not. Okay. I thought I saw some George Niang propaganda the other day, but if he was on this team, look what happened to the Cavs.
Care more.
Yeah, we were aligned. Everyone would have loved Niang. Look at what has happened to the Cleveland Cavaliers since getting rid of Georges Niang. Their entire franchise has crumbled.
They have big fraud painted on their forehead. They did last year too when they won 64 whatever games they won. Like, they actually they lost to Georges and the boys today. As we're talking, 112 to 123 they lost.
Who lost to the Georges and the boys?
Cavs.
Oh, did they really?
Yep.
Jesus. Because I haven't caught up
with other teams that lost to bad teams.
Man, well, the Cavs lost to the Jazz today. Is that so? He's on the Jazz now?
Yeah.
I missed that. I thought he was still on the Hawks. Yeah, so they won. They won the Drew trade like pretty comfortably. Like, Simons purely by playing games and now being a legitimately good player. Like, and a guy that
I don't know if he's 6 man of the year. Like, but he's hanging out. Like, he's like waiting at the host thing to see if there's a seat at any tables or at the bar to see if he can get in. But
he can get in because no one's better than getting their players awards than the Boston Celtics. Let's see where he is. He is currently 21 to 1. 1, 2, 3. He's like 8th in odds. You know what? That's probably worth a flyer.
We're gonna hear Jake call in his bet. I
You don't
missed
have to do it unless it's live. That
Oh,
that
okay,
has
all right.
that has been nice to make live bets on Celtics insurance in the comfort of my own home without having to broadcast it to people on the playback stream. Um, so that's nice. I did well. I got some Celtics insurance during the Spurs game when they
Oh,
went
did
up
you?
briefly in the fourth quarter, which was nice. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, Simons, we won the trade. Fantastic. Jordan Walsh has been pretty uneven lately, but I thought he played pretty well tonight. And like the play of the game maybe was like, I forget, was it Pritchard who found him underneath the basket? He had to jump to catch it, and then without hitting the floor, he
I think
threw it
Derek
back out
hit
to
him.
Derek.
It was
Oh, he threw
flip
the
flop.
yeah,
Pritchard
flip
made the
flop.
shot.
That was
It
sick.
was a great read. Like, because as like a 21-year-old guy that can like leap, it'd be like, watch this cool dunk. But now he had like a head on his shoulders to kick it out. He had a nice steal late in the game
Yep.
too. That was kind of big.
3 steals.
Yeah, like this was like closer to what we had been seeing from him when he was red hot there in November and December, and we're all like, "Whoa, they really just need to let him bloom." Whatever sickness he got, like, did he get
Yeah.
POTS too?
I was don't want to say it. That would be so sad.
No, he definitely didn't. But it was just like, man, why can't he play basketball anymore? Like he looks fine out there. He's just not in Walsh's rise was more like associated with him being like a menace. Like it wasn't even like, I mean, he went like nuclear from the field too,
Yeah.
but it
That was
was
crazy.
really look at how impactful he is on the glass. Look how annoying he is for these offensive players who are trying to score on him. And then like that grit was gone when he came back from being sick. And then Joe moved him back to the bench against the Kings and he went and got a double double. And it was like, whoa, maybe he woke him up. And then he's just been ass again since until today.
And what I liked about today was that I thought that he looked kind of ass again in the first half and quarter and like hesitant, didn't know where to be. Like, I think he had a turnover. Yeah, he had a turnover. And I was like, man, what was it just like the Minot thing? They just had this like flash and we're just never going to, we're always going to, it's like the Jordan Crawford player of the week situation. Like we just had Jordan Walsh for like 3 weeks or whatever it was. And we're never going to get it back. But I thought he really rallied as the game went along. Defensively improved, was all over the glass, 9 rebounds. And like as much as I love that we're really good on the offensive glass, I find myself caring way more about who's getting on the defensive glass. And 9 defensive rebounds has my attention. I love that play I talked about at the beginning. He had a really nice cut late as well, where he was able to finish for a dunk. It was the weird spacing possession where he had a good little finish, and he had like another tight traffic like Euro layup. I like what like his finishing stuff. So encouraging from Walsh. I would love to see the. I'm not sure if he'll be able to consistently hit the levels that he was hitting in that, like the Walsh sanity stretch. I wish that aligned a little bit better, but than with Linsanity, but Welsh Sanity, we'll have to take it. But yeah, I wanna get back to the good times.
Yeah, you mentioned the Minot thing. I just feel like the role players on this team are passing around the Infinity Gauntlet and like they all
Yeah,
play with it
dude.
for a couple weeks and then they have to give it up because it was Minot and then it was Walsh and then Luca and Ugo, like their hands were small enough to both fit in there, even though Ugo has gigantic hands.
Yeah.
Like they both had like a supernova stretch towards the end of 2025. And I think Garza's still got it a little bit. Like I've been really impressed with him. He was not great defensively against the Spurs. Like Garza's defense against the Spurs was, hey, you can shoot the 3. I'll give it to you. Like it was just like, I'm gonna let you shoot it. I can't close out. I'm not allowed to. In this game, he was solid too. Like he was out there when they stormed back in the third, which might have just been a benefit of the rotation for him. Because like you mentioned, Nimi being a minus 12, like Nimi just had the misfortune of being out there when nobody could score in the third.
Agreed.
Like he had the only points in like the first half of the quarter. It was disgusting. But I just feel like we've watched them find something with Garza, and he's starting to get played into his strengths, just like Simons has. But Walsh, seeing him be that active is very encouraging. It just string it together. And again, it's because like it's effort is not always a choice. Like it is, but it's not. Like sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. You're not in the
Yeah.
position to make the play and everything. Like there is some circumstantial stuff to it. But when it's as easy as like grabbing 9 rebounds in a game where it wasn't always going your way, it feels like he could just turn it on and turn it off. It's like turn it on again. They
Yeah.
need you.
Yeah. I've said this a lot this season. Like playing hard is an actual skill. It's like you could be like wanting to play hard, and it just like you're finding yourself out of position. You start second guessing. Like, should I be crashing? I'm kind of costing us, or whatever. So like harnessing the energy and the effort is a legitimate skill, and I just think that for someone that has not played that much, there's going to be bumps in the road. Like what we've seen as a totality from Walsh, like even today, seeing him bounce back inside of a game and come back and finish strong, I think is really encouraging.
It's a good
But
point.
still 21, Ugo's still 19. Like there's going to be inconsistencies with any young player, even the best players. The high draft picks, right? Like that's what makes superstars. They do it night in, night out. If even Peyton Pritchard, right? It's like would have been nice to have him go off in the Spurs game, but we weren't able to get it. So I'm confident Walsh can kind of get it back. Ugo, definitely a rookie. I mentioned it about 2 weeks ago to Greeny. I don't know if he can shoot. The shot doesn't look bad, but he started the season making threes. Like he was at 40% for a while. Last 15 games played, he's at 26.7%. The volume is still crazy low. I don't think we're going to get a good answer about Ugo's shooting kind of for another year, probably. What I do love is when he doesn't try and do like some kind of move on a drive. Like he had the move today where he like tried to go behind the back and he went off his heel and it went the other direction. And he had his one basket of the game. All he did was like fake one way and just drive hard into his defender and then jump off 2 feet and finish. Just that's all I want to see him do is like get better at that because I think he has the strength and the explosiveness and the touch around the basket to be effective there. It's when he just does the pre-programmed dribble moves that he's looks like he's on 2K, right? And you try and do it when it's the wrong time. Every
He
time it
flicks the
looks like
stick and
that.
he just does the whole dribble package. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Does the Euro step every time. He's like, fuck, I'm just programmed to do that, man. I'm sorry. Uh, I may be misremembering or might have misread the situation when it happened, but I felt like when the Pacers were in their element, whether it was the second or the third quarters, whichever moment they decided they popped off, I felt like Ugo was out of place a couple times defensively. And I don't know if it was his fault. Maybe he was the one like realizing the defense was messed up and recovering. I don't know if the Celtics paid for it, but they gave up a couple open threes and they were like having 2 defenders on one guy a couple times. I thought that was his fault, but I'd have to go back and look. But overall, with him, it was like a Mac game. Like he didn't do a ton of Ugo things. It wasn't like he wasn't even impactful on the glass. And like when he has been at his best this year, that's what he's doing. He's creating possessions by grabbing the ball, whether it's offensive or defensive, and you can really, really feel that. And yeah, Minot, like I feel like this would have been a great game to have Minot because you
Yeah.
can put him out there. Like he probably starts instead of Baylor, who gave you next to nothing. Like not to really like stomp on him. Like he deserved the start today after what he did against the
Yeah, he's been
Spurs. He
good
brought
lately.
it, right? But he didn't bring it today or didn't have it today. I think he gave a good effort still. He had 2 steals. He was involved, but didn't give you anything offensively. Minot, you miss his size a little bit. You miss his athleticism. He can play defense. He makes his own mental mistakes, but it's a body that you miss having. He's one of my favorite guys on the team. I just think he's a interesting story. I think he plays hard. I think his 3-point shot is like it's just so funny that it goes in and it
Yeah.
works at like a high volume.
Yeah.
Legitimately good. The celebration is cool. Everything about him is just nice. I hope he's back soon. He's not in a boot or anything, which is good.
Yeah.
Because I think at first, I remember being in the cafeteria at the Garden. Someone said they saw him in a boot. I was like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah. How did he do that? Because he didn't do it on the
Missoula had no
game
clue.
court. Yeah. So that's it would have been nice to have him tonight. Baylor, deserved the start, but maybe that's just like you can't be too upset in a game where you start Baylor Scheinman and like I love all these guys. If you're starting lineup of Cater, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, and Baylor Scheinman, it's not you know Derek can't he needed to hit more threes. And had to take a bunch of tough ones. Just your shot quality wasn't as high today. Luka Garza getting 0 3-point attempts is another thing that I'm tracking. Got to get more Garza threes. He's shooting close to 50% from three on the season. Has never really had enough volume to know for sure how good of a shooter he is. And when Tatum comes back, I bet that really goes up because Tatum's so good at generating pick and pop threes.
I mean, just looking at the way that he is effective is he sets those monster screens. Shout out to Trey on Twitter who tweets the Kingpin from the Across the Spider or Into the Spider-Verse movie. That he's just this huge, gigantic wall. That is what Garza looks like when he sets these screens. He has really good hands on the roll. His finishing ability in the roll is pretty impressive for a guy who doesn't dunk. Like he has like a 6-foot guard layup bag in terms of his footwork heading to the basket, and it's super impressive. And if he's shooting, since they've revived him, he's at like almost 70%.
Yeah.
Like that's how good he's been. If he's doing that for you, he's a threat in the roll and the pop, and Tatum will murder teams with that. That little behind the back he did to Horford for years, that'll be Garza now. They
sad sentence.
They have the same jump shot. He went on two games, put Horford's jump shot on. That's what he did.
They do have a similar jump shot spider on my desk. Small one.
You terrified of spiders? I guess not.
I am. But this is just a tiny spider.
Snakes for me.
I hate snakes as well. Anyone that is not scared of snakes is a crazy person.
People that have snakes?
They're also crazy people.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Just insane. But get more guys at threes. That's probably enough on this game in particular. There's been reports recently. Celtics want to trade for Zubats. Brad Stevens is got his feelers out for Zubats. Robert Williams has been the new one. Everyone's been talking about that one because everybody loves Rob. But to see some sort of report from Chris Mannix, is there another big man I'm forgetting? Because I feel like I saw another name.
Brett Siegel today said Day'Ron Sharp. Scotto also had reported Day'Ron Sharp earlier in the season, and then yesterday Stein put out Gafford, which Stein is a Mavs dude, so that might be the Mavs being hey, people are interested, we swear. So that one I might take with a grain of salt, but we've heard Sharp from multiple sources now. We've heard Rob from multiple sources because Siegel put Rob out too, along with Zubac, and so did Mannix.
I would do the Zubac's trade in an instant. I would give up probably 2 first-round picks to do it. Are you a Zubac's guy?
I don't really know. I don't watch enough Clippers, which is an indictment on me. But the resume speaks for itself. He was an all defensive level guy last year. He fills a serious need for you as a body that you can trust to guard great centers in the NBA. The Clippers went 7 games with the Nuggets last year. It's not a coincidence that he was out there to try and slow down Jokic. Not to say Jokic was bad in that series or anything, but the Clippers, the team that started this year, looking like me and the boys out there, took the Nuggets to 7 games. He had something to do with the effectiveness of that. And if you get him for the right price, you have him for a couple years on a good contract, and you can feel good about his fit in Boston. The question to me is more about I'm kind of torn on how I feel about draft picks right now. I'm probably in the overvaluing them camp because I'm terrified of the second apron now. And I'm well, if you hit on your draft picks, you can bring in effective players on cheap contracts that way, and they're younger. And so you can have bird rights on them too. Not to say, I'm pretty sure when you trade for somebody, you get the bird rights after a year or so. You'll still have it with Zubac. That's not really my main concern, but it's more about okay, if things don't work out with whoever on this roster, you would have draft picks to fall back on, or you could use them in a future deal when you have a better feel of how the players that are on this team right now fit with Tatum when he's back.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely validity to both paths. Like
And
the
also Simons I like now. So
yeah,
I'm more like I have more
Simons,
value on him.
like I mean, the Amari Williams hype train that Nick is driving is just off the rails.
Is he even old
And
enough to drive? Just conductor in the train.
yeah, hey man, they let him in, and he's driving from the front and the back of the train. And so like, and Brad Stevens apparently just is touched by God. So Amari Williams will probably be good as
That's true.
well.
That man's just endless bag.
Dude, he's just on fire. So you have Amari, you you have your again like you have your some free agent budget, whether it's minimums or tech or mid levels, and then you will also have your draft pick from this season, which I thought was going to be like in the teens. It's currently in the 20s again, but still, like if say you pick 22nd, you and then you draft another big man with that, so it's like you can invest your resources like in more of a diversification as opposed to putting your eggs all in a Zubats basket. So I can understand the hesitancy around like doing something like that. At the same time, I think Zubats we saw last season when the infrastructure is right, and with the Clippers turning it around now, like legit kind of like top 20 player type impact. And I think we've just seen with Tatum in particular how he just rises the level of efficiency and uh, like the way that he's able to play off big men both offensively and defensively. You bring in a guy that's just like a legit foundational type of piece, and then you bring him in. All of a sudden, like Cater's probably in like a overqualified role all of a sudden, and Garza's back in an overqualified role all of a sudden. Then you're like, oh shit, this big man rotation actually feel kind of good about it now. So I definitely see both sides, and I always just kind of come back to like, as long as Brad's the one making the decision, then I feel good.
Yeah, especially when Tatum's back. Like, you definitely don't need Simons. Like, Simons is probably a better. He'll get his catch and shoots with Tatum, which would be awesome. But like, you don't really need that as much. Like, you'll have probably one of Peyton or Derek, or probably Peyton back off the bench, I would guess, in the starting lineup in that
Yeah,
case. And, there's probably less minutes for both of those guys to go around when that happens. And you could definitely use the help at center. So, like, that probably tips the scales for me. I wouldn't be mad at it. It's just like I'm always super wary for trades. I'm like, well, I always think they're
yeah.
going to get smoked. And Brad never does,
I was
seemingly.
gonna say, I can't believe you still think that. It's like just, well, I'm surprised people are still willing to trade with the Celtics at this point. It just goes
Yeah, it's true.
horrifically for everybody else. The Robert Williams part of this doesn't make any sense to me to trade for him this season because he makes 13 million. You have to give up like just like pure salary wise. You you have to give up Hauser basically in
Hmm?
order to do it. And I know you would do that in a heartbeat because you hate Sam Hauser, but like trading anything of value for Rob Williams is not something I'm willing to do. And I love Robert Williams. You can't do it.
Yeah. You got anything else before I go?
I'll just say
I
to
didn't
me,
get
it's a free agent move. It's like you bring him in for the like part of your mid level or as a vet min. You cannot be giving up legit assets for Rob Williams. I love him, but it's an awful bet.
Yeah, and essentially you'd be taking somebody. Hauser has had like a weird injury history for a guy that's not involved in a ton of like athletic movements on the basketball court. But with that being said, like he's been mostly durable, right? Like
Oh yeah,
he's usually out there. Rob is not usually out there. He's played 26, 27 games this season, which is the same or more than his first two seasons since leaving Boston, which is good for him.
yeah.
But to give up assets for him, you're right. It just doesn't make a ton of sense unless you are all in on getting rid of Simons, which I don't even think you can trade him back to the Trailblazers
That's
for Rob.
crazy.
So
Yeah,
uh,
I think
it
you
would
have
be
to be a three
fun.
teamer.
Yeah, you're right. Free agency is the best way because you probably get him on next to nothing with the
Yeah,
injury stuff.
yeah. And so that's the move. And like, hey, Horford, same again. Warriors buy out Horford, bring out back Horford too. Daron Sharp, it's a little bit tricky with the $6 million contract as far as like getting there, but
Because you do have to match it as a first apron team for the
Exactly.
listeners. Can't take back
So,
more.
and you don't want to give up Pritchard again. Hauser, obviously, like I don't think for Sharp, unless you're getting like a pick back from Brooklyn. And again, Sharp feels somewhat of an unknown commodity in like high leverage spots. But it's funny when there's a guy like this that we all have circled as a dude that Brad can go get. It feels like it never happens,
Never happens.
even when it's obvious. The only one was like, I guess Horford and Drew Holiday, but those feel kind of different.
Holiday was more of like a what if, because at the time, I don't think any of us was like, well, shit, I'd give up Rob right away. Like, I don't think that was like the thing I remember I was like, well, like they technically could do it, but like I was in kind of in like Zubac territory where I was like, well, I don't know. Like, well, you know what you have in Rob, you don't know.
I said
Obviously,
no.
I don't
I was
know.
like, I wouldn't do Robin. I think it was Robin Brogdon it was Robin Brogdon.
Yeah, that's who it was.
I think at the time I said I wouldn't do that because I was like, you're losing guard depth. I want Rob, like the ceiling of him if he's healthy. Idiot. Drew Holiday was like basically the perfect basketball player for the 2024 season. Um, again, Brad doing his thing. But yeah, so it doesn't usually work out when everyone's identified something that makes sense that Brad does the thing that seems to make sense, but
Sharp hasn't
you'll
been
see.
bad lately, though.
No, yeah,
He's
makes sense.
first of all of these ass teams are winning games all of a sudden, as we saw today. But
Yeah,
Brooklyn's been like mostly 500 ish. Well, they've been bad in their last like 6 games, but they had a nice stretch in December. They had a decent December. And Sharp had some nice games mixed in there. Like his game score on Basketball Reference was over double digits in at least half of them. He had a good start to January too with some big ones. So he's got something in the tank. I just don't
for
really
sure.
know. Like, is he that much different than either of the guys that you have to really feel good about giving things up to go get him? That's the thing. But Brad liked him. Like that's the reporting is
Mm,
that they liked him in the summer and they weren't able to get him.
right.
And I feel like Brad liking someone is also like the touched by God thing. Like the Celtics can find the way to maximize guys. Like
Yeah.
we talked about Missoula earlier in the show. That is really what he does best as a coach, in my opinion. Like all of the guys that the Celtics brought in this year, credit to Brad, have been hits except for Boucher. But Missoula has to find a place for them in his rotation and his game plan, and all of them have strengths that he's playing to. And that is why he's great.
Great coaches, one of their traits is definitely empowering guys and like and finding them their role. Kind of reminds me of like when Grant Williams was maximized to when he went outside of his role. As soon as he started going outside of his role, it was like, this is not who you are. All these guys know exactly their role and are doing it like to a 10 out of 10. Before we leave, do you want the good news about the Kings versus the Lakers game?
I've seen things on Twitter about this game. I saw LeBron like shake the ref. I saw him like
Okay,
pouting next to DeAndre Ayton. But we could
great.
talk about it.
Well, as of right now, there's 5:45 to go. The Lakers are down 109 to 98 against the Sacramento Kings. Luka Doncic has 40 points on like very good efficiency as well tonight. I need the Kings to finish this off. At the same time, DeMar DeRozan, 25 points on 11 for 16, 0 3-point attempts. Impressive. They're even getting cooked by Zach LaVine and Russell Westbrook. Holy shit. The big
You know,
three out of
Russ had
Sacramento.
this
Gone
circled.
nuts. Yeah. 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 So so that's a no, even 112.98. All right, let's get out of here. Pray on the downfall of the Los Angeles Lakers. And hopefully they finish what's a great night. Sam, it's been a pleasure. We always love having you on.
Love
Um,
being here.
yeah. Anything to plug? We got how about them Celtics coming out tomorrow?
Yeah, game recap for this will be actually it's a full pod. No one's gonna watch it because they never watch when they lose, which is
That's
how we
correct.
start the game recap embedded in the pod. But lengthy pod, we haven't really had the chance to do them lately because we were both at the Garden last week, so it takes up a lot of our time. Subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 5,000, so that'd be pretty cool to hit by the end of the season. Jack and I both write on Hardwood Houdini now, so if you want to hear what we have to say, you can go over there and see it. But that's it for me. Twitter at Sam LaFrance and BA.
Love it. Everybody, good to see you. Celtics lose, but we'll be back. Till next time. Go Celtics.